What's going on, YouTube? Zach is back, bringing you another Pokemon Unite replay commentary. I'm trying to record these more frequently, and so what I'm going to probably do moving forward is record more of them with no webcam, just because it's easier for me to record them faster and get them uploaded and all that jazz. So let me know in the comments what you think of that choice. If you would rather me do something different, let me know. Or you could also view my lovely face by visiting me on Twitch and when I'm playing live. Drop me a follow to see when I'm playing live. But anyway, got a really good, almost said Vaporeon game. Really good Latias game for you. I think it just highlights a lot of strong stuff about the Pokemon, as always. And, I don't know, just really fun to win games like this against lineups like theirs, because they actually do have a lot of answers to Latias. So Latias, like Latios, struggles a lot against burst damage, so Glaceon and Talonflame both really suck to fight into. Nimiswine, of course, bullies any squishy, and Psyduck helps him out too, so they have tremendous tools for dealing with Latias, potentially in the mid-game and late game. It's a matter of if they can access those tools and how my teammates will respond. But anyway, so we're starting to lane with a Mewtwo here. Not seen Mewtwo in a little while. He's definitely one of the worse or more overshadowed megas these days. But nonetheless, I will always try to help my teammate do as best they can. I'm mainly focused on last hit, so I'm like trying to line up my shots to where I can hit the enemy too. There I was hoping my teammate couldn't hit the farm. He didn't. It's kind of my first inkling he was the worst teammate on my team, which he definitely was. But nonetheless, I'm still going to try to help him here and fight a little bit. But obviously, once I start taking the blows that he was taking, I back up immediately because I saw how low he got so quickly. And I'm going to get low faster because he's got better defenses than I do, and he has more HP than I do at this stage of the game. So we just want to respect the enemy when they are stronger than us and try to punish them otherwise. Now here, I'm just going to play super safe. Whenever you're against 3 as 1 or 2, your goal should be defense and trying to get farm and making sure your berries don't get stolen. Because the berries are a big HP swing if your team steals them. But essentially once you get Dragon Pulse in this Pokemon, you're fine anyway, so you don't really need to, get every last hit or whatever. And here the Talonflame doesn't end up overstaying his welcome, I think. His jungle could have gotten stolen. And in fact, I think it was a good opportunity for it to get stolen. So my lane partner decides to farm Natu's mid to catch up on XP. But here, what he should have done, and what I would have done if I were him, I think, is when you see Talonflame bottom, definitely run into the enemy's jungle immediately. Instead, he's in the middle for a while longer, not really getting a lot done, not really what you want to see. Enemy team scoring a lot of points in the meantime. It's one of those situations where you just gotta hold your own and hope the enemy team is getting as bullied as yours is by having 3 people. Don't be afraid to take a little bit of jungle farm to help you catch up. I feel like you're sort of entitled to that if the enemy ganks your lane and your mid ganks the other lane. But I try not to steal buffs, just the Baltos. Just to get 6 more than anything. There's another big threshold for Latias, obviously. And here, seeing that bottom's already long gone and they're just going to steamroll and take whatever they can and score it all, I decide very quickly to just come top instead. Switching to the Sableye. Sableye gets really bullied by Latias. Neither of Latias' moves target. So you can easily pressure Sableye at any stage of the game, regardless of what his approach to the situation is. Here I'm going to take a quick break and steal their jungle a little bit since they've been on our side for so long. I figure the jungle's probably going to be available somewhat. And my team is having to fight top that is not going so great, could maybe use me, but at the same time, we're already down another 1, and knowing this is here, then I'm just going to do it if I don't, makes me want to do it, if that makes sense. Like, this is already in. That's my assessment at this point. So I'm just trying to get my ult and get levels and get Eon stacks where I can without dying anymore, because obviously dying as much as I have already is not fun. I like scoring situations where you stun myself people. Obviously, it's not always a good idea. And potentially, at this point, I've overstayed my welcome here. Should probably have felt my phone top sooner. But again, I'm sort of taking concessions where I have to in order to get Eon stacks and experience. It's a bit of a selfish way to play to a large extent. But I think that on both Latios and Latias, you're entitled to some selfishness in the early game. And in fact, it's sort of recommended because, well, let's face it, early game's your weakest part of the game, and you need Eon stacks to be useful. So, however you can get them and experience to make the most use of that special attack in the early game is really what you want to be doing with your time. If that means farming, then you should be farming. If that means fighting with your team, you should be fighting with your team. And normally, I promote team fighting a lot with Latias, but there are cases where you want to make use of resources on the map that aren't getting used, rather than fighting into a disadvantage team fight longer and potentially risking more losses than you should have. Here you can see how Mistball plus Dragon Pulse really helps against speedsters, especially. Because of the damage reduction effect of Mistball, you can survive a lot longer than you would be able to otherwise through their burst. And then the healing of Dragon Pulse gives you the extra wiggle room to be able to claw back and actually fight them. It makes it so you don't have to go to base as often, and that's also why I've been using Potion over on Latias. I used to be more of an X-Speed user, but I've found recently that Potion is actually very useful in the game, because, as I always say, when you're weakest in the Pokemon, so I think X-Speed is still better in the late game, but Potion's not bad in the late game, so I don't mind the change. Here you can see I'm sort of staying at my max effective radius for the most part, trying not to overcommit to anything that can give me an opportunity with BlueStacks. I sort of play towards the fringe of the fight while my moves are on cooldown, and then I move in as I can use my moves again. Generally how you want to be playing Pokemon like this. And here, my Vaporeon is no use as a main score. Plus, I want to be beyond stacking. I don't want to be scoring. Scoring's not bad, but it doesn't get you beyond stacks. Now, when I get top and I see the birds here, my first thought is enemy team hasn't gotten here yet. So I want to farm these while my team is connecting with me. I don't want to start the objective by myself because that'll be a dead giveaway what's going on the top side of the map to enemy team. And again, because I don't get beyond stacks getting objectives, I want to kill the enemy first if possible. So we knock out one person and then poke a little bit, and then we meet the enemy. We missed the Talonflame though, so it's starting to chip our team apart. Our team is very vulnerable to Talonflame in this game, which is a huge pull for Mistball. If you're ever in a split decision between Mistball and Dragon Cheer, well, first of all, you should know by now that my opinion of Dragon Cheer is that it's best when you have a Latias. So if you don't have a Latias, Mistball's already much more on the table. But even aside from that, it helps a lot against speedsters. So if you think your team is going to have a problem against speedsters, I would say Mistball could be a huge help. I sort of read the moves line there and played on the opposite side of the thing, avoiding his ult. And here, again, I'm just doing my best to make it get the objective by hitting the enemy, making them not able to hit it. And you know, if we never get it at this stage, I'm fine with that more or less, because I'm getting neon stacks either way. I can still knock out this guy. Nope, even if I get KO'd first, my team is still getting both Reggies, so we're getting a huge experience differential. That's a big part of what I like about the new map that I mentioned in other videos, is the momentum you get from doing objectives can easily lead to much objective afterward, right? Where you're just snowballing on the map and getting lots of XP constantly. And it sort of shows in the different levels on the team. Like, the Talonflame is farming everything he can, which is why he's got 50, or 14. But, sorry, points my guy. And none of us are that high, but he has a lot of low-level people, like 11, 11, 10, just hit 11, 12. Like, we're feeding those wide-leading levels, and of course it's our Mewtwo, our worst person feeding right now. Here, the Glaceon and I, so Drago, I don't know if you guys saw, I didn't really pay attention to it until just now, but it spawned at around 242, but I didn't get there until about 239. And we were just short of knocking it out, and I had a Dragon Pulse that I was almost going to shoot over, but didn't have time for it. So, it's arguable that I should have been there sooner, but I also think if we had any attacker there with us, we could have gotten it. So, don't be too hesitant to take those opportunities when they come up. It's nice to get the objectives when you can, so definitely be willing to linger in that area for a late Regidrago if you think your team can manage it. The Dragos actually have less HP than the other Reggies, so they're a little easier to knock out. Anyway, so I use my Dragon Pulse, then ult immediately for the cooldown reduction. And I wanted to ult right away because this is a hard fight. You can see like a lot of burst damage and a lot of stuns, so I just want to get it off. And I got it on a Talonflame, so it's especially harder to hit him. Again, I'm just going to do my best to make it so my team can knock out people that counter them. Unfortunately, I bite the dust here, but thankfully Eevees are able to hold it down, showing the power of the Eevees in the late game. Because really, truly, Eevees have great early, mid, and late game. All of them do. Because they scale really well on stats, so even if you get 13 and 14 and onward, you're still really powerful as an attacker. Unfortunately here, the less tanky and more squishy Glacia isn't able to hold his own, but the other Eevees are able to buy us enough time for the team to respawn and reconnect. So here, I saw that we were in the lead, but I didn't see it was a huge. I saw it wasn't a huge lead, which means we had less than 100 points ahead. So my thought at this point was, if we don't score again, Sableye is gonna win because he's just gonna score points at some point in Sableye. So my thought here is the enemy team wasn't really showing on the map very much, and our team was all just playing defensively. I thought, I'm just gonna go score right away. I'm gonna give the enemy team a reason to have to score, and they're not even able to get back and stop me in time. So yeah, now they really have to score, and it shows. They both are willing to score right away, and we have 2 people go back to defend, which is really prudent on our side. Yeah, and so my thought now is the rest of us can just make sure they can't get Groudon or score or anything, and then we're fine. From here, it's a pretty straightforward match. We're doing nice and over. We do get some score up in the second off, just to rub it in their nose, just to rub their noses in it. Ooh, I didn't see him kill this guy. Did you get this guy? Oh, come on, you can get him. Oh, rats. Well, like I said, Talon is a huge problem for our team this game, so that we did as well as we did is very, very fortunate, I think. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I had a really fun time with this one. Hope you had a fun time watching. You enjoyed, maybe you learned a thing or two. If you have questions about any Pokemon in these videos you see or anything else you might want to know, let me know in the comments. Also give me future suggestions for future videos. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, give me a like, subscribe for more stuff like this in the future. Like I said, I'm going to be trying to upload more replays more often, so yeah, be looking forward to that. Catch you next time. Bye. Peace.